A price floor is a minimum legal price at which a good can be sold. The minimum wage is an example. In the labor market, employees are the sellers and employers are the buyers. Supply and demand analysis predicts that a price floor that is greater than the equilibrium price has 7 effects. The predictable effects are: the market price is greater than the equilibrium price. The price floor equals the market price, or is the market price, when the price floor is greater than the equilibrium price. So by transitivity, that means the market price is greater than the equilibrium price. Second, surpluses tend to occur and to persist. Surpluses occur when the market price is greater than the equilibrium price. As noted above, the price floor is the market price when the floor is above the equilibrium. In the market system, the surplus would cause the market price to decrease. However, the price floor prevents the market price from falling, therefore the surplus persists. Third, the quantity traded equals the quantity demanded when the market price equals the price floor. When the market price equals the price floor, the quantity demanded is less than the quantity supplied. Quantity demanded is less than quantity supplied. When the quantity supplied is greater than the quantity demanded, every seller willing to sell cannot find a buyer willing to buy. Since sellers cannot force buyers to buy more than they want, the sellers will sell only the quantity demanded, even though this is less than the amount they want to sell. Fourth, the quantity traded will be less than the quantity traded in the market system. Let's walk through an example of that. The first row in this table shows what happens when price equals the equilibrium price. When price is 10, the quantity demanded equals quantity supplied. Every buyer can find a willing seller. Every seller can find a willing buyer. So they'll trade the equilibrium quantity of 5. Look what happens now as the price rises from 10 to 13. Suppose the price floor sets the price at 13 and keeps price from going below that. So the market will push price down as low as it can go, but it'll stop at 13. In that case, the quantity supplied will rise from 5 to 8, and the quantity demanded will decrease from 5 to 2. Now we have a surplus of the good. The quantity demanded is greater than, the quantity supplied is greater than the quantity demanded. Well, we've got 8 people wanting to buy, only 2 people wanting to sell. 2 lucky buyers will buy from the 2 sellers, and 6 buyers will have to go home unsatisfied. The fifth effect, since we have a surplus of the good, alternative rationing mechanisms will emerge to allocate sales among the sellers. The price floor means that price cannot ration the quantity traded among sellers. Since the quantity demanded is less than the quantity supplied, every seller willing to sell cannot find a buyer willing to buy. When every seller cannot find a buyer, buyers have greater discretion to pick sellers from whom to buy and from whom not to buy. Not buying from a seller is not costly because a surplus exists. When the surplus exists, a buyer can easily find other sellers sufficient to sell all the buyer wants to buy. Alternative rationing devices might include showing favoritism to family, friends, and people of influence. It could also include avoiding buying from people with characteristics that the buyer finds undesirable. The sixth effect is the emergence of a gray market. Again, gray markets are markets in which prices trade illegally. Sellers are willing to accept less than the price when the quantity demanded is less than the quantity supplied. They're unable to sell all they want to sell. By selling illegally at lower prices, sellers can increase the amount sold. Some examples here would be sweatshops or farms that pay less than the minimum wage, even though they were required by law to pay the minimum wage. Workers accept these low wages because the alternative is even worse. Another example might be Uber. One reason that Uber is so successful is that regulations in many localities create price floors on the fares that taxi cabs may charge, and Uber's found a way to get to charge lower fares. And in fact, the taxi cab companies in many cases are charging them with acting illegally. The seventh effect is that producers will develop and use tactics that reduce the real price without reducing the posted price. For example, they can increase the quality of the good. An example of this occurred when federal regulations back in the 60s, 70s, 80s created price floors for airlines. At that point, airlines competed by offering frequent flights, great meals, and attractive stewardesses. The term flight attendant did not exist at that time. Another way that they can, in effect, raise the effective price, where they could lower the effective price, is to give the buyer discounts or easier access to other items not subject to the price controls. Now, what happens if the price floor is below the equilibrium price? Nada. It'll have no effect. A great example of this, what would happen if we passed a law making prices for hot dogs less than 2 cents illegal? Absolutely nothing. Nobody's selling hot dogs for less than 2 cents right now. So making it illegal to charge less than that would not affect people's behavior in any sense.